And start with the breath. Become aware of the movements of oxygen-rich air into and out of your body. The way your lungs open up to catch it. As it is breathed into you and into your body. Going to meditate on the balance of the elements in our life. So let's start with air. First of all, just getting used to its company in our bodies, that physical sensation. Feeling it enter through our nostrils or our mouth. And passing down into our lungs. And without forcing or changing our breath, just feeling where it lands. Feeling all of the outside edges of the lungs. As the air expands them. And just bringing some gratitude to this meditation, to our lives. Just giving thanks for air, for keeping us alive. And as we're attuned to this oxygen-rich element that fills our bodies, let's also remember that it fills our minds, because there is no separation. So as we feel each lungful expand and contract within our bodies, remember this air is also feeding our consciousness. Our awakeness as a living body. That thinks with its muscles and its bones and its inner organs, as well as with its brain. And now feel the way that air in our lungs bubbles out into our bloodstreams, and starts to flow from our lungs in every direction. Up, down, out to the sides, forwards and backwards, just filling our entire bodies through the bloodstreams with oxygen-rich air. So that it's almost as if our bodies could float away. They're so light and filled with air. And then knowing that our bodies will remain sitting here, let's let our consciousness float away with the feeling of air. That consciousness that came with our lives from nowhere, born out of the universe, not limited by space or the body, not limited by time. The way our mind can fly forwards and backwards and out through memories into hopes and imagination. Just let the mind be completely free for a brief moment. So just as the spirit of air is free to float around us through the atmosphere, from here to there, uncontainable, so gentle and silent as the atmosphere, but also capable of the fierce winds of giant storms. So the spirit of air can also have too much power in our lives. If we feel ourselves floating too freely, not grounded, living in imagination or daydreams, regrets, or hopes and fantasies, because we're unhappy or unsatisfied with something here in our physical realities. Sometimes there is too much air. So let's breathe that back down into the body as we weigh it up with thanks and take enough of the spirit of air to feel free in consciousness, to feel enlivened in the mind, to feel like we are capable of anything in the imagination, but also that we are true to our bodies, to our place, to our people, to our earth. Not lost on the winds, but refreshed by them. And then let's ground that balanced feeling we now have with the element of air back down to the bottom of the lungs. Just become aware of the way your breath fills your body right down towards the center of gravity. From the bottom of the lungs down into the core of the body. And from there, let's just get a sense of our bodies as earth, made out of matter, just as is the ground and the mountains and the trees and the other animals. Built up out of this breathing clay. Feel the way your body sits on the earth, on a cushion or on a chair, on the ground, doesn't matter. The way you're supported by other matter. Feel the way your body of earth sits upon the body of the earth. The way that you can feel your separateness at that point of contact, but also sense your oneness at the same time. Feel the way that your body is held by the earth. And feel your solidity with love and gratitude. Give thanks for having a physical body that enables you to move, to talk, to eat, to love, to have a human consciousness in the world, the only one you can know. Feel the way all of this relies upon you having this physical body right now. This is what grounds you into the real. Feel yourself sitting like a mountain upon the earth. Stable, solid, real. And remember those times when you have to make a decision and stand firm, not compromise, not be moved. And sense the way your body as earth can stand tall and strong in those moments. Don't give. Sometimes everything is relying on you standing firm and holding ground. And now, in another moment, sense the way that sometimes you do have to move and give and become more fluid. And sometimes being too solid and too stable will go beyond enabling you to feel grounded and will instead become you feeling stuck. When you're feeling stuck, you need movement. You need to balance out that element of earth that is so good for giving you a body and enabling you to stand strong, but that also needs to be modified by the other elements. And just hold that balance before we move on. Sense how strong and stable you can feel in a body. And sense how you have to allow that to be flexible as well, to be moved. And then sense yourself opening up to the river. Just as the earth does. At its lowest points, the water gathers from rain and from springs in the earth and begins to flow. And allow yourself to slip into that flowing water of the great river. Sliding along with that water in ease. Flowing this way and that, but always down along the course of the river. Around stones or tree roots, over pebbles, around corners, down waterfalls if you like, along flat, open, calm stretches. Let yourself feel that freedom of flowing through life. And flowing with the river until it comes to the sea, allowing that fresh fluidity to meet with the great ocean, the salty depths from where life arose on this planet. And sense yourself as water, just as comfortable with the saltiness and with the great wide open depths as you were with the freshness and the flowing channel of the river. Allow yourself to float in the water and sense that complete freedom. And just as we've done with the air and the earth, now just catching that feeling and giving thanks for the waters, both fresh and salt, and weighing up how much of that enriches our lives and allows us to have deep feelings and a sense of flow, being at peace. And when does that sometimes become too much, too shapeless, too slippery, too disembodied? When do we need to come back to our shape in human form, to our consciousness and the way that that is shaped by our lives? And just feel that balance for a while. And once we've felt out the way we like our balance with the element of water, let's come back into the body, into the breath. Come back down to the bottom of the lungs and follow that down into the core, the center of gravity, the hara or the dantian. And sense, just like the planet Earth, that we have a burning hot core at our center. Sense the fire in the belly. feel whatever it is that drives you, your passion. Feel the spirit that enlivens your life, that pushes you out into the world, that draws you back. The enlivening force. It drives your appetite and allows you to digest, just as fire burns the fuel upon which it lives. It warms up your life and your heart from within. It makes you care, and it drives you to protect what you care for. It sparks up the consciousness in the body. Just as the planets revolve around the sun, so our lives revolve around the fire within. Sense with gratitude the way that fire fills you from within. Feel the way that you are capable of being inspired. Feel how you burn with purpose. And how sometimes, like with every other element, that goes too far. So that we burn up and burn out. We forget our restraint and our ability to channel. And we're just on fire. How that can become anger and destruction. And again, let's balance out that element. Let's make sure we've got enough fire in our lives to inspire us and to drive us, to keep us evolving and growing. And not so much that we burn others or ourselves with anger or passion that is not tempered by compassion. And just breathe in that balance of the spirit of fire for a moment. Now that we've balanced out all of the 4 elements in our lives, let's just sit and breathe in the spirit behind all things, the animating force that comes into existence with the universe, that becomes fire and air and earth and water, as they each themselves become each other. Just as all matter sparkles into being and dissolves and transforms into new things. And just as our consciousness is fed by the great mysterious spirit of life, and giving thanks to the spirit of life and to the four elements of air, earth, and water and fire. Just taking that with us into our day or our night. Maintaining balance with all the different aspects of ourselves so that we can act out of compassion and generosity and continue to evolve as beings.